good morning. Sorry, good afternoon, teachers. How are you? My name is Gracia Cáceres, and today I'm going to give you some recommendations to celebrate Easter and incorporate it into your lesson plans. First of all, I don't know if you can hear me or see me. Um, I am going to look at the questions to see, just to be sure that you can hear me and see me. Oh, great. Yes, I can hear you. So, guys, thank you for being here. Well, like I said, I am Gracia Cáceres, and right now I'm in Monterrey. I'm from Monterrey. And tell me, guys, where are you from? I can see people from Tlaxcala, from Cancun, Guatemala, nice. I see people from Peru. So welcome, you guys. Um, Let me see, Monterrey. Hello. Oh, there's another Grecia in here. Hello. Montevideo, Uruguay, nice. Colombia, Ecuador. So welcome, you guys here. Well, before we start with this little webinar, I'm going to close my camera so we can start. What you see on the screen is the dashboard that you have in your screen. These are the controls for the webinar, and you will see three little arrows in there. The first one is pointing at the microphone, and I'm going to keep you. Keep you muted. Uh, guys, if my voice is too loud, please lower down your volume a little bit because well, I can't control the volume of my microphone. I don't know why, but if it's if I'm like too loud, please lower down your volume. The second icon is pointing at a hand. This is in case you want to make a comment or you want to make a question. Please raise your hand and or write your question in the questions area so I can read you. All right. So from time to time, I'm going to be opening the questions area. So yeah, I know the microphone is like too loud, but unfortunately, I try to lower down the volume, but I couldn't. So please lower down the volume in your speakers so you don't hear me yelling. My voice is not clear. Well, I don't know if it's problem with my microphone in here. Okay, guys. So, okay. So let's get started. I know there are a lot of people, so I'm going to be reading you from time to time, and I'm going to try to answer as many questions as possible. Okay. So without further ado, we are going to start this webinar. Okay, so, okay, so you must, hold on, okay, okay, so now you must be looking at my window. Let me just start this. Okay. Okay, So today we're going to be working with the Easter activities. So to start with this, I'm going to open a poll. It's just one question for you to answer this. Okay. So we have this little poll. It says, which of these three represent Easter best? We have the Easter bunny, we have the Easter eggs, and the Easter egg hunt. So please select the item that you believe represents Easter best. I'm gonna give you a minute for you to vote, and then I'm gonna close this poll. Okay. All right, now I'm going to close the poll. Okay, so let's see the results. So most of you said that the Easter eggs are the symbols that represent Easter best. Next to it, well, that actually was very close, was the Easter egg hunt. I'm curious. I thought the second would be the Easter bunny, but apparently not. Well, it was like very, very close. But now that that this was just a warm up, now I'm going to give you a short walk through the history of these symbols. Okay, let me show you this. Okay, so I'm just waiting for my presentation to show into your screen. Okay, hold on. Having a little trouble in here. Okay. Okay. Hold on. I'm having a little problem here. Can you see my screen? No. Okay. Hold on. Give me a minute. Okay. Okay. Now you can't see it. Okay. Great. 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 All right. I'm gonna give you some facts about Easter. Some quick facts. Can you see that the screen? Can you see the slide that I'm sharing? Says sorry, can't. Yes. Okay. So some facts about. Sorry. I see that you can see just the holiday specials, but not the actual slide I'm showing. Okay. Now you must see it. Can you see it? Hold on. Now it's there. Okay, I'm sorry. Little some problems with the tech in here. Okay. Most of us relate Easter to a Christian celebration that is celebrated at the end of Lent. Lent is what we call Quaresma. However, it is well known that Easter was celebrated way before the Christians or Catholics. And there are some theories about the origins of this celebration. One of those is that, for example, the name Easter is believed comes from a goddess, from the goddess of spring of Anglo-Saxon goddess of dawn and spring called Eoste. And others say that it comes from the Norse word Easter or Ostara, which means the season of birth, which is funny. Well, it's not funny because it coincides um, with spring, where everything grows and where everything is new, everything is in bloom. So it makes sense. Um, Another is a symbol, well, another symbol that is very important during Easter is the Easter bunny. Mm, is the Easter bunny? Well, the bunny originally was a hare. A hare is a variation, it's like a bunny, but with bigger ears and not as cute as a bunny. And the hare was always has always been related um, to fertility because, well, okay, um, it's a symbol of fertility because bunnies have like a lot of offsprings, so it makes sense that it was related to fertility. And the Easter hare symbol came to America, well, not to America, United States, with the German immigrants, and in there it transformed uh, into a bunny, into a bunny. I'm having problems with the transition, so now you must see it. Hold on. Mm, okay, can you see my screen? Sorry. Um, in some. Okay, hold on. Be patient, people. Now you see it. Um, Once the German immigrants were in America and they settled down in there, um, they started celebrating this holiday. So in Germany, they were very common to bake bunny pastries and candies during the 19th century. So this custom, this tradition evolved into eating chocolate bunnies that are very common during Easter. Is we don't only see chocolate shaped bunny, well, chocolate shaped bunnies, but we also see peeps and all these kind of candies in the shape of bunnies. Okay. Um, okay. Um, hold on. Mm, okay. Mm, okay. Okay, now another tradition, important tradition, is the egg hunt. It is believed that this tradition dates back up to the 1700s years. And back then, kids were encouraged to build nests instead of Eastern basket, Easter baskets. Um, this was because they believed that this hare could lay eggs, and they built this nest for this hare, so this hare could lay its eggs into this nest. But that tradition eventually evolved into giving the children Easter baskets to put all the eggs they find. And another important tradition is that the White House every year organizes an Easter egg roll event. So in here, children from different communities go into the gardens of the White House to celebrate Easter and to play with these hard-boiled eggs. I believe they are. Um, so these are some of the origins of the traditions of Easter. And now I'm gonna show you something that I believe it is very, very important about Easter, and something that I really, really, really like is that, okay, hold on. Sorry, hold on, people. Okay, you must see this. Okay, now something that I really like about Easter is um, is that people practice unity. Families gather to celebrate this time together. They travel somewhere. They, I don't know, they get together with relatives, etc. And at school, teachers work on crafts or paint Easter eggs with their students. So there's a big, big, big hidden value into celebrating Easter, which is collaboration. Now, these are some characteristics of about collaborative learning. One of the first one is that it involves groups of students to complete a task or solve a problem or create a product. So students have something in common, an aim to reach in order to work together. Something else is that learners are exposed to different points of view. So each of the members of the team need to well, we could say tolerate, or need to cope with different backgrounds, different attitudes, different points of view, which I think is very, very important, and really builds up over the. I see who can participate in the White House celebration. From the things that I was some articles that I was reading, um, this is like a general invitation to the community in Washington, and I guess it is they have like a limited amount of people who can be there, but this is a tradition that was implemented in the 1800s. So people have been celebrating this egg roll at the White House for like many, many, many years. However, while I was doing research, I found out that this year's was canceled due to the problem with the coronavirus. So this year, the Easter egg roll is canceled. So we will need to wait for next year to see it. As a matter of fact, you can't. The sound is. I'm sorry about the sound. Um, so you can actually, there's actually a web page that you can read a little bit about the White House Easter egg rolls, which is it's very interesting because it's a tradition that is not so it's not so widespread, and it's like very 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 American. So let's go back to collaborative learning. Another important aspect of a collaborative learning is that learning flourishes in a social environment where conversation between learners take place. Um, in here, it is very important that when students are working together, that they use a target language. So an important part of collaborative learning is that they will actually use the language they are learning in their English classes in a natural way because they will be actually using the language. Something else is that participants are actively engaged in the activity. Everyone collaborates to reach the aim. Everyone is working. Everyone is giving ideas. Everyone is participating. Something else is that it is flexible. It can be incorporated in a 15-minute class or in a long-term project. Actually, in here, the teacher decides when to use it, how long the teacher wants this collaboration to be. Maybe this is going to be a project-based lesson that will be carried out throughout the whole bimester, or maybe just for 2 weeks. You name it. This is a very, very flexible approach. And finally, learning requires a challenge, both social and academic. Why do I stress on the social and the academic part? Because students are not only going to gain academic knowledge, but they are also going to gain social skills. What do I mean? Maybe mediation, maybe trying to solve problems, maybe uh, they're going to increase their tolerance towards opposite ideas, etc. So, why am I mentioning collaborative learning? Because the activities that I'm going to show you um, are going to be based on this approach. And I have, yeah, yes, I agree, teacher Ana Lucia. One of the most important is the development of social skills, because sometimes we leave this aside. Sometimes we leave this aside, and mm, and we focus only on the academic part. But we know that speaking a language is not just that. I see that Leila cannot hear me at all. Is it? Can you all hear me clearly? Maybe it's too loud, but okay. Very good. Very good. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, I have divided the activities that I'm going to show you into 3 levels. The first one is going to be preschool. I have other activities for elementary, and finally activities for secondary. So let's start with preschool. For this, the first activity is more like an opener. I would suggest you to use this to try to get your students to relax, maybe after recess when they are all hype and hyperactive. So you might want to use this to relax your students. I got this activity from the Go Noodle website. This is a fantastic website where you can find a lot of dynamic videos that you can apply into your classroom, maybe as a break, maybe to relax them. And I really suggest you to go to this website and explore what is there. Okay, so I'm going to share a little video, a short video that I got from here. And please try to do as the video says. Hold on, this got stuck. This is. Can you see the video? Okay. So let me know if you can see.
Bunny bread.
Did you know you breathe about 15 to 25 times per minute? That's 21,000 to 36,000 breaths a day.
Oh, that's a lot of breaths.
And now we're gonna triple it by doing some bunny breaths.
Ooh.
To get your bunny breath on, take 3 quick sniffs in, like you're sniffing around for carrots.
Okay.
And 1 long exhale out. Try it. Now, get comfortable, close your eyes, or keep them open, whatever feels right, and let's bunny breathe.
Okey-doke.
Ready? 3 quick sniffs in and breathe out. 3 sniffs in and out. Sniff in and out. 3 sniffs in and out. Sniff in, breathe out. In and breathe out. Sniff in, breathe out. 3 in, breathe out. 3 in and out. 3 sniffs in and out. Sniff in and out. Nice bunny breathing.
Oh, thank you.
You know,
Hey.
bunny breaths are great for when you get so upset that you can't catch your breath.
Oh, no. I lost my poor meatballs.
No worries, Fabio. Just bunny breathe.
That's much better. Thank you.
Okay. So could you actually watch the video? Was it possible for you to watch it? If not, oh, okay, great. So you can try that. Your students are going to relax and they are going to be ready to start the class. I would recommend you to do this right after recess, so they are ready to receive the lesson. Okay, so let's continue to the next activity. Okay, the next activity is very easy. The only thing you need is to get some plastic eggs and a Sharpie. This is it for students to practice counting. And this activity is very flexible. The only thing you need to do is to write the number you want your students to practice on the plastic egg, and then maybe have some stuff around like paper balls or small pom poms, or maybe you can use beans or any other grain you've got there. So students can put inside the egg the number that is being shown on the surface. Okay, and in the picture we see it to teach currency. In there we see some dimes, we see some pennies, and this is for the students to start to add up the money they have there to get to the number is on the surface. Okay. The next one is okay. The next, I really like this one. This is to practice art and math. This is if you are working with CLIL and cross subject approach, this is going to be ideal for you. What you need in here is a cardboard egg template, markers, school glue, salt, watercolors, and a paintbrush. If you look at the handouts section, you will see there the egg templates, and for you to download and print. You will see it in the preschool template. Okay, and this is what the students are going to do. First of all, by using markers, you're gonna let your students draw possible patterns for their eggs on their template. Remember what I was telling you about collaboration? In here, the teacher will be encourage the students to brainstorm on the patterns they like or the shapes they like. In here, maybe you could do some review about the shapes you have seen during class. And for example, one of an important standard for math in preschool is that students need to recognize and follow patterns. So in here, on the screen, I have some patterns in there. For example, we can try an AB pattern. For example, in here, I am showing is a ball, a line, a ball, line, and so on. You can also try an ABC pattern, like a line, maybe some I don't know how to say, like a zigzag or something, like ball and so on, or an AAB pattern, like line, balls, line, balls, etc. After the students have decided on the pattern they like to draw, have your each child select they have to use the glue to follow the pattern they chose, and next they will gently sprinkle the salt. In here, I think you will need to help them first, or at least show them before having your students to do so. And finally, the students you will demonstrate how to fill your paintbrush with water and watercolor paint. Then gently tap the area with the salt on it and watch as the color spreads and mix. And in here, you will see some of the product. You need to let it dry so to clearly see how the salt absorb the color and all of it. So it's a really nice activity. Okay. Now okay. The next activity. Okay. I'm very into STEM. Into the STEM program. If you don't know about STEM, STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. So this is an approach that helps the students work on all of these areas through a particular activity. In this case, students will be working with engineering. So maybe we could say that engineering is a little bit too, is a bit complex for preschool students, sorry, but they will really enjoy this activity. For this project, students will need a plastic X, a Play-Doh, and a simple measuring tape. This is like you can use the one that you have in your hardware trunk, or the ones that you use to measure fabric. I don't know, whatever you have handy. And in here, students will work together to create a plastic egg tower. So the first thing that you will do is set out the supplies at the learning station. This is you can arrange this in islands where maybe of 3 or 4 students, no more than 4, because a party is a party of 5 people. And after that, you will show children how to connect their eggs using Play-Doh spheres. Number 3, you will encourage them to build a 3-dimensional structures, such as the one I have in your screen. And students will need to measure how tall the structure is before deconstructing it. And before they measure, before they deconstruct this tower, students will be given some worksheets. You will find these templates also in the preschool templates PDF. This is a very basic one where students will write their names on it. Maybe you can have your students to draw the tower they build, and also write the number of the height of the tower. If you are working with big, medium, small, you can have students create a big tower, a medium-sized tower, and a small tower. These worksheets, the ones that I'm showing you, are from a series that Richmond carries, which is Math Adventures. And in this series, students work with what is called what are graphics and all of that. And you can practice this standard through this activity. Let me see if there are any questions. Okay. No questions for now. So through this activity, you students will be working with math. You will be working with adjectives: big, medium, small, big, small, long, short, etc. So it's very, very versatile. So in step number 4, students need to measure how tall the structure is before deconstructing it. And finally, write the student's name and how tall the structure is in the T-charts. The T-charts are the templates that I'm showing you on the screen. And for example, if you are reviewing numbers, you can do it as well by having your students build a tower with the numbers you have in your worksheets. Okay, now we are over with the preschool, and we're gonna go to elementary activities. The first one is a activity I did like 8 years ago during a science fair, and it works wonders. I actually tried this with first graders, and students were like amazed on the thing that they did. And for this activity, you will need pipe cleaners. You will need borax. Borax is a detergent-like component. You can get this at any place where you find detergent or soap, clothing soap or something. You can also find it in Amazon, because this is a material that is used to create slime. I have, where can we download these printable exercises? The templates of what I'm showing you on screen are in the templates area in your dashboard. It is, sorry, in the handouts. Handouts is right above the chat. There you can download those activities. Okay. You will also need a bamboo skewer or any kind of skewer. You can also use a pencil or whatever you have there. You will also need a stream, boiling water. It is very, very, very important that the water is boiling, and a glass bowl or a jar with a large opening. It is also very important that the mouth of your jar is wide enough for the decorations you're creating to fit. Now, I'm going to give you a very quick explanation of this. The procedure, the complete procedure of this activity is in the handouts template, in the handouts area, is in the one that says webinar specials. There's where you will find the detailed procedure of this activity. So the first thing that you and your students are going to do is create a bunny or an Easter egg with your pipe cleaners, like so. And after that, you're going to use a string to tie the egg or the bunny to the skewer or the pencil depending on what you're using. And after that, you're gonna put the pencil with the bunny or the egg tied on aside, and then you're going to pour the boiling water into the jar. In here, be sure that you are the one pouring the water because we don't want any accidents. So pour the boiling water into the jar, and then you're going to add the borax. I remember I added around 3 or 4 spoon tables, spoons, a spoonful of borax, and you're going to mix the borax together with the Hi, may I ask about the other templates you were showing? You mentioned were from another series Richmond has. Yes, this series is called Math Adventures. This is for preschool, Math Adventures. Okay, so going back to the crystal like craft. Be sure to add at least 3 or 4 spoons of borax. Stir the mixture. Don't worry if the borax doesn't completely dissolve. Don't worry about that. And after that, remember the skewer that is tied to the egg. Well, now we're going to introduce it into the jar, and we need to be very, very careful in here because we don't want the egg or your craft to touch the bottom of the jar because the crystals are not going to be able to form. Also, you need to be sure that the water completely covers the craft for the crystals to form. It takes around a day and a half for the crystals to stick to the pipe cleaners. So at the end, you will get something like this. It is really, really, really cute. And if you want to, you can add food coloring to the mixture, so you can get colored crystals. I remember I added red food coloring blue, and I got red crystals and blue crystals. So the students were really, really excited about when they saw their crystals. And be sure to put the jar with the Easter egg on where it is visible but not moved or disturbed for the crystals to form. Okay. I'm gonna open to see if there are any questions. Okay, no questions for now. All right, so let's continue. And with this activity, you can work with science. You will be working with science. Okay. In the next activity, we will be working with language. This is a really simple activity. For this activity, you will only need plastic eggs, slips of paper, and places to hide these eggs. The first thing you're going to do is write Easter-related words in small slips of paper. Number two, you're going to place each slip of paper inside the plastic egg. Then try to find places where to hide the eggs. It could be throughout the classroom. If you are if you want to take out your students to the yard, you can do it there. Also, I will recommend you to set teams, at least of 3 people, and have them search for the eggs. So please try to make us like not try not to make like a few words. At least have words for the teams to have at least three of these Easter words. Once they have collected them all, they will open their eggs and take out their slips of paper. Their task is to write a story using the words they found in their eggs. If you want to make this more challenging, you can assign each team maybe a literary genre. Maybe a team will come up with a mystery story. Another one maybe can come up with a scary, a horror story, maybe a comedy or a drama story. I don't know. So the options are endless. It depends on how complex or how simple you want to make this activity. This is for language. And also, if you want to review some grammar points, you can ask your students to work. Maybe a student will work. A team will work with a story that will be in the future, another one in the past. If you want to review or you want your students to work with adjectives, you name it. You can ask your student as many requirements for this story as you want. And now we're going to, I'm sorry, something happened. Sorry, hold on. Let me just, oh, okay. Now teachers, we're going to try a little activity, a very quick activity. So use the following words to write a short paragraph describing something positive, negative, or crazy about Easter. Please write your statements in the chat that we have here in the questions area. So I will be reading you. Can you see the activity? Sorry, something happened. Okay, positive is sweet. We celebrate spring eating chocolate eggs, yummy. Okay, Easter is a tradition. That is very sweet, like chocolate, very good. Okay, we don't celebrate Easter like this in Ecuador. Okay, this is very interesting. Maybe you can have your students. Maybe you could ask your students how they would celebrate Easter in Ecuador, for example, if you don't really celebrate it, how would they do it? Or what would they like to try from Easter? Negative, not all persons, people celebrate Easter, yes. Negative is expensive, yes. Yeah, with all the decorations. Easter bunny makes me crazy, yeah, because of all the sugar. Yes. So this is an activity you can try out with your students, besides the Easter hunt and all of that. Celebrating Easter while eating chocolate bunny. Yes, we don't celebrate Easter in Peru, but we love chocolate. Well, we all love chocolate. Okay. Bunnies, yes. Crazy, we expect eggs from a bunny when bunnies are mammals. Yeah, it's weird, but that's how it is. History is weird. So now I have some troubles in here. Hold on. Okay. So now we're done with elementary. Now we're gonna go over secondary activities. The first one is similar to the Easter hunt, but this is an egg taboo. I don't know if you have ever played taboo. Taboo is a board game where you need to describe a word without actually saying a word or uh, the most obvious words related to that word. So the first thing you need to do in here is at the beginning of the class, give each person a small basket with a specific number of plastic eggs. After that, you can use any size of basket and eggs you wish, but each person will need to keep their basket with them throughout the activity. Instruct everyone to pay attention to everyone else during the conversation. Choose an action or a word that needs to be taboo. It could be closing your legs while sitting, saying the word Easter, or any Easter-related words or anything else. If someone observes another person doing the taboo action, they will collect an egg from that person's basket. And at the end of the party, the persons with the most eggs will win a prize. So, you cannot see the slides of the presentation. Can you all see it? Can you all see what I'm showing? Okay. I see Ruth cannot see my gesture photo. Let me try to. Okay, I'm going to continue. Okay. Now, here I have some examples of words that you can use as taboo. Okay, you can use vacations, Easter, rabbit, bunny, eggs, travel, candies, chocolate. Remember, your students cannot say these words. So if two students are speaking, and one of the students says vacations, then the other student will remove an egg from that basket. So at the end, maybe after 15 or 15 minutes, there will be students with no eggs at all. So students need to be very, very, very careful and pay attention to what they are saying. And maybe it will be difficult to have your students speak about Easter out of the blue. So what I have here are some prompt questions for you to control these topics a little bit. Something that I would do is to time these questions. So maybe in here you can give students maybe 2 or 3 minutes to discuss the the prompt question, and to try to force them a little bit to use the taboo words. Some of the questions are: why do we celebrate Easter? Do you celebrate Easter? What do you do to celebrate it? what are the 40 days before Easter called? What do you think is wrong to associate religious holidays with the Easter Bunny or with Santa Claus to Christmas, whatever. Remember, these questions are for teenagers. If you want to apply or you want to play this game with your elementary students, you will need to modify these questions. Let me see. You cannot see. I am actually showing the presentation. Maybe in here, I don't know why you cannot see it, Ms. Ruth, but I'm actually showing the presentation. What about the rest of you people? Can you see what is on screen? Maybe at the end, Ms. Ruth, maybe you could. I'm going to share my email, so you can send me a private email so I can share some the activities that I showed today. Okay. And this is a really, really nice activity. So then the last activity of the webinar. This is another STEM activity where students will be working with engineering 21st century skills, and this is an egg dropped project. Remember what I was telling you about at the beginning of the session about collaboration, where, well, in here, the objective of the activity is that students need to create a prototype to protect the egg from a high fall by using materials brought from home. And this is the fact that you are not limiting the materials give your students a great opportunity to be creative. One of the purposes of STEM is to have our students think outside the box and try to come up with ideas that maybe have never occurred to us or to their peers. So that is the main purpose of using STEM activities. And I'm going to show you some of the prototypes that I found for this egg drop project. This is a prototype made from straws and tape. This is another one. This is the egg all covered in cotton. And this is the one that this was my favorite. This team used an eggplant to protect the egg. So as you can see, students can get as creative as they want. So maybe one of us will come up with something like really complex, and another student will say, okay, let's just bring up an eggplant and stuff it with an egg. And I don't know, maybe it will work. Who knows? So the procedure, the first thing the students will do is, the first thing the teachers will do is get your students in groups of 2 or 3. I think this is the ideal number of team members, because more than 3 or 4 is a party. So it's my experience with teams. Then you're going to hand out your students the following worksheet. This is an egg drop challenge worksheet where students will brainstorm their ideas for the prototype. So in here, students will, as a group, will decide on the prototype they are going to create. Maybe they can do a presentation to their peers. So in here, the students will illustrate their designs, and they will explain why their design will protect an egg from breaking from a fall. And after the group has decided on the prototype, they will decide who will bring the materials needed, and they will need to be responsible of these materials. That's the beauty of collaboration, because each student will have a role and will be responsible of whatever they are doing. And the next day, the students will use the materials to build a prototype together. And number 5, each student is then given a printable prediction sheet, the one that I'm showing, this one. Printable prediction sheet. As each student presents their design to the class, the other groups record each prototype on the chart and predict whether it will protect an egg or not. So in here, if you look closely to the procedure, the students are carrying out the scientific method steps. So they have already hypothesized on the prototype, and now they are going to do a prediction. Then number 6, after all groups have presented their egg drop contraptions to the class, each group is then given a raw egg to put inside the design. Students then head outside with their prototypes, their eggs, and recording sheets. And at the end, each prototype is dropped one at a time, and then the egg is checked to see if it survived the fall. So this is when students are going to record the results of whether the prototype worked or not. So these worksheets are also found in the handouts area, so you can download it and use it in your class. So these are all the activities I have for you, teachers. So now let's do a little sharing time. Well, how do you celebrate Easter? How do you plan to celebrate Easter this year? Okay, I see in the chat that some of you have problems with the internet. So don't worry, not teacher. You're going to find the recording of this session in the channel I'm showing you. And thank you so much for being here with me. And I'm sorry about all the little issues I got during this session. But if you want, if you have a question, if you want me to send you some of these activities, you can contact me to that email. And well, anyway, this session was recorded and it will be on this channel and the channel that I am showing you on screen. Thank you so much. I hope you're staying safe at home due to this quarantine thing. And thank you very, very much, teachers. So I hope to see you in another session sometime soon. Bye.